Well, hello everyone, my name is Zachary O'Shea and this is Box of Teeth. We're going to cover another minion today for an antagonist that you can use for a Dungeons & Dragons campaign, and this one is a small evil that you should certainly not ignore. As a reminder, this month we're covering the Lodge Master, who is a demon dedicated to corrupting the nobility of an area, especially through its young sons. He takes them in under the guise of an older gentleman who is a real man's man and a lady's man as well, and corrupts them from within a lodge sort of structure and releases them on society to ruin it. Before we jump directly into that minion that he has for today, I'm just going to remind you the 4 genres of horror that he covers, which are body horror, demonic horror, corruption horror, and class horror. All right, let's go ahead and cover the Mangeservant. This small fiend resembles a red-furred baboon that is stuffed into a butler's tailcoat. Its hooked claws scrape against the ground as it scampers along, barbed tail lashing with excitement. Above a wide tuft of stark white fur sits a wolf skull that is proportionate to the small body. Hellish flames flicker within its cranium, and smoke trails down its shoulders like unkept hair. Pinpricks of crimson light serve as the Mangeservant's eyes. They are the Lodge Master's sinful retainers. They attend to the Lodge Master's every need, and the greater fiend is rarely without a handful of them scampering about. They fetch their master food and drink, weapons and ammunition, sacrifices and daggers, and all manner of other things with a snap of a claw. Their unquestioning loyalty to the Lodge Master allows them to eat his table scraps and sacrificial scraps as well. Though the Mangeservants don't actually eat, the meat that they chew sways within their empty skulls, roasting away to cinder and ash. Every lodge cult has more than a few Mangeservants of their own, but they only come out to play when the uninitiated are absent. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Mangeservant statistics for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. A Mangeservant is a challenge rating 1 small fiend. It has a couple of damage resistances, an okay number of hit points, and armor class you would expect for a creature of that CR. They do have a movement speed and a climb speed as well. They do know Abyssal and Common. As innate spellcasting, they can cast Prestidigitation as well as Thaumaturgy to go about their daily duties that they might need to do as servants. And they also have Leaping, so they can high jump and long jump up to 20 feet, even from a standing jump. They do again have little hook claws that do a little bit of damage, and they do have a recharge attack of Spit Fire, where they can do fire damage at range, which is a little bit higher than a normal creature of their CR, but again, that's why it's on recharge. They are a simple little fiend that can terrorize tier 1 characters for a while, either singly or in mass as they go up to levels. Otherwise, they kind of become set dressing. They can be easy to deal with unless they're in far superior numbers. Think of like a goblin or a kobold in that sort of way. And they also fit those themes that I mentioned earlier, body horror-wise. Their name is Mangeservant, so it kind of conjures that idea of mange, which is already grotesque. Their body, again, is a blend of baboon and wolf kind of stuffed into a tiny tailor outfit. Demonic horror-wise, they are obviously little tiny demons, and they have Prestidigitation and Thaumaturgy, so they can make themselves seem bigger than they actually are. And they, of course, spit fire and have a weird way of consuming meat. In a corruption horror sort of aspect, they're there to serve the lodge's every whim, but also, of course, influence people that they're serving to greater and greater excess. And in class horror, again, they are Mangeservants, which is a play on the word manservant. So they are definitely separate in their class than both a lodge master, his trophy wife, and the various lodge members as well. They're meant to be abused and kicked around as needed. I hope you enjoyed the Mangeservants. You can find them, all the minions for the Lodge Master, along with hundreds of other horror-based creatures for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition that are all perfectly free at boxofteeth.blogspot.com. If you're more interested in the non-Dungeons & Dragons horror role-playing projects that I have, or the horror fiction that I write that includes grease paint right here, it's got a killer clown, you can always go to www.zacharyoshea.com. I would love to hear how you would use the Mangeservants in your game, or heck, any sort of monsters I've talked about so far with the Lodge Master, including himself, in the comments down below. On top of that, as always, I really do appreciate your time and your attention, and hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.